Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we're going to talk about something we've actually talked about before on the channel itself, and actually overall really good news. Now this is in regards to a lot of the restock, stock issues, as well as also price points, where we're now actually once again seeing even more bigger sales showing up and people basically, well, having a chance to get what they really want for their high in demand objects. So we have a lot of things to go talk about for this one, and as well, I've kind of been covering up a little bit more on like the price equalization, or a lot of these different types of like things on third-party sellers or normal markets or even like MSRP are finally becoming somewhat normalized, or as well, sometimes now going on sale. We've also been seeing a lot of really good news too as well in regards to GPUs, where a lot of GPUs have kind of been like in the same category of the PS5 and Xbox, although thankfully because there's so much variety and so many other various options, they're actually looking and feeling pretty good when it comes to the markets. So we have a lot of things to go talk about. A lot of good news to go talk about, so definitely leave a like on the video. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. We have all the Amazon links for the signups for the Xbox, PS5, Twitter, and Twitch room down below if you guys want to follow. Got the Target links if you guys want to go check and see over there. And let's go dive into the video. So we've actually had a chance to cover up some of this stuff, and we had a similar video not too long ago. But for this, we actually do have, once again, good news when it comes to all these cards. So we have this where the graphics cards are finally now slating, and now another 40% and throughout the entirety in June, and now ever since January it's actually down 57%. So I kind of want to go talk about this because I just think it's generally really good news, but as well I just love the fact that we're seeing this. So the prices now for previous gen cards are falling even faster. So I kind of want to touch on a few things. Number one, when it does come to GPUs, it does seem like a lot of folks are now also anticipating up the next generation. We're seeing a lot more leaks, a lot more rumors, and a lot more pretty big competitive edges when it both comes to NVIDIA and as well both comes to AMD. To the point where it's been a while since the 3000 series cards have been out, and obviously after a certain point, it's kind of like the iPhone. Like if you go buy it day one, you can kind of go and coast for a while, but if you're 10 months in and you know there's going to probably be another one soon, you're probably going to go and calm down and be like, yeah, I could probably wait and kind of go and see. So we have like a lot of major effects that are basically normalizing and making everything normal for all of these GPUs, which is awesome. So the prices for previous gen cards are now falling even faster. So graphics cards prices continue to drop both at retail and as well for aftermarket used cards sold on eBay. Both good news. We've pulled together the data for the current prices, which you guys can see down below. I'm going to go through those. And the GPU mining exodus is in full force. eBay prices for the best graphics cards, meaning current generation hardware, have now, since probably the last time we made these videos, have now fallen on average 14% since June 1st. And previous gen cards dropped about 17% on average. Retail prices aren't dropping as quickly, and many places are making noise about graphics cards deals in an apparent attempt to clear inventory at the highest price possible. So apparently for all their research, they tracked a 3% drop in retail prices on average, with prices on a few cards even increasing slightly, funny enough. But the big thing to note is that we had a lot of really big issues with stock, kind of how we've seen a lot for PlayStations, but at some point, whenever it does equalize, it kind of goes to show that a lot of these things are basically like pretty chill. Like say you go and have everyone's clamoring over getting your say your GPU or console. And at some point, you're sitting on 20 of them, and you have another shipment of them coming next week. You have to go and move that stock. And we're kind of getting to that point where we basically have like no botters, no scalpers when it comes to all of these, because they're not making money. Like if you're seeing these price points, if they're dropping 14% on average, that means they're not making money. But as well as really good for the normal consumer. Like we don't really care too much about the resellers or people farming cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or whatever, and then reselling them, because then they're also reselling kind of mediocre products. Because no one wants to go and buy a GPU that was, rough, like it's been used 24/7. But as well, it's kind of intriguing to see that even retail has now been dropping, where now even retails themselves, so think like a Micro Center, GPU, GameStop, whatever, are now also selling even cheaper. So changes since the start of 2022 are even more dramatic, falling 57% on average. Retail availability of most graphics cards at the start of the year was close to non-existent. GPU mining was still profitable, and anyone that really wanted a modern graphics card immediately generally had to turn to eBay, and basically had to go deal with scalpers and all those third-party sellers or botters. But now, as of even better too when it comes to crypto, a lot of these miners are actually operating at a net loss. So that basically means that not as many folks want to keep on mining crypto, mining Bitcoin, mining whatever, and that also means that they're like, hey, let's just go and like maybe sell it on eBay, sell it on Facebook and all of that. So it's kind of like the ripple effect. And it's always a big effect I always say when I want it for the PlayStations and the Xboxes, where whenever the scalpers are like, hey, we just got to sell our stock, then basically that gives people options. And well, at some point we will see these PS5s at lower price point than $500 per console. We'll maybe see like a 480, 470 at some point if they have a lot of stock. Or as well, if like maybe like there's like just a really good bundle, a really good restock, and just no one wants to buy it from a third-party person as well. Or like they don't want to pay the fees, so maybe the fees will equal out to what you'd pay for retail. So as you guys can kind of go through some of these price points, and these are cool. So the 2090 Ti, top tier big boyo, $1,387 on July 1st. And then price on retail, $1,670, MSRP $2,000. So this actually has a 17% over retail and MSRP. While the 3090 is also crazy. I'm not sure why they have a $3,000 price point as well, but the MSRP is actually a bit lower below MSRP, which is nice. See the two as well with the 3080 Ti, a little bit below MSRP too, and also even cheaper up on eBay. And you guys can kind of see a lot of these price points are slowly going down. The more intriguing ones to kind of note, though, are sometimes on the very low end side. So if you guys look at some of these, apparently when it seems this one, the MSRP is $330, while the retail price is actually $390, and then same too as well for $400 to $470, and the 3070 $500, $580, 3070 $600 or whatever. So basically kind of very intriguing to see like how the retail price is still slightly higher in MSRP for some of these, 3080, 3070, all these over here, and then it's also lower for these higher tier cards, which probably just kind of goes to show that these highest tier cards were probably a little bit more overpriced if the market's also trying to correct it. Now, obviously, maybe NVIDIA upped the price because pandemic, semiconductor, they thought they could get away with it, whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, it does kind of seem like the higher ends should not be priced at that point. If we're also looking at third-party resale, such as eBay and everything else tied on in. Looking through some of the AMD cards, they're pretty equal, like 380, 400, 450, 480, 550, 540. Like that's all these are very, very close, which I always appreciate because it does seem like AMD has been on point for their stock. Like even some of these, you can see the Radeon RX 6400, which is literally just baseline the same exact price. And this is what it should be. Like we shouldn't be seeing eBay, we shouldn't be seeing these other price points, charging an upcharge. They should be charging a, lower price because they're just not getting a full-on proper retail console. I'd rather buy from Best Buy, Amazon, Target, whatever, if I had to go pick and choose. So basically, as you guys can see, most GPUs are now selling below their official MSRPs if you're willing to take a chance on eBay. NVIDIA's top-tier cards, too, as well, have also joined by AMD's RX 6900s and stuff like that, pricing that's actually 20 to 30% below the MSRP. That's particularly surprising for the RTX 3090 Ti, so it's only a few months old now and generally would cost over $2,000 at launch. So it's almost kind of crazy to see that even these very, very high-end cards are still basically like to the point where people are like, everything's kind of chilling. Like the whole interest is dropping off. Everyone's chilling at this point too as well. So it's very cool to see these numbers, like even the NVIDIA RTX 3080, both the 10 and 12 gigabyte models, if we assume a $800 MSRP for the latter, on that one are basically just right at MSRP, which this is what it should be at. Like these are the price points everything should be. Maybe depending on the store, maybe third party, maybe slightly higher, just because we're in pandemic and all this other type of stuff. But this is really nice to see that all these are going down. And I would probably say this does probably affect up the crypto too as well, because I'm sure there's a lot of crypto people that are mining that are probably flooding Facebook, eBay, StockX, or whatever. So it's very nice to go and see that retail is getting a lot of stock. And we actually have seen pictures too where it's like micro centers are just filled to the brim with GPUs. And this is like nature healing. This is nice. Like we like seeing this because if you want to be a normal gamer, even for PC or whatever, even for consoles, the ideal thing for us is we could just walk into a store, go to the shelves, and we find exactly what we want. So funny enough, retail prices in general remain higher than eBay prices too, which I think is nice, mainly because it would make sense if you're buying a used product, you should be able to go and sell a little bit cheaper, you have to pay the fees or whatever. So I do like the fact that also these are getting a little bit more on the normal price points too as well. So basically nearly every GPU too as well dropped by 10% compared to last month. So it just kind of seems like the downward trend is kind of pretty much perpetually going down, which I love to go and see for this one. Now there's still a few, it kind of depends, if there's stock issues, big restock stocks or whatever, but it does seem like pretty much everything is falling down. Both AMD and NVIDIA cards are going down. Nature is healing, and we're probably going to also once again see also a lot of used cards too as well. So we have lots of good stuff. I love it. Give me your thoughts and comments down below. And as well, I appreciate you guys all so much for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on as well for the brand new PlayStation 5 giveaway. Amazon links down below for the signups, Twitter and Twitch stream, and Target down below. And I appreciate you guys all so much for watching in general.